Hello and welcome to episode 92 of FPL Apprentice, the only place which delves into the mind of one of the greatest players to ever play the game, former FPL world number one, Mr. Matthew Corbridge. Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm feeling refreshed post international break. My team is looking pretty rough compared to what it would have done just over a week ago. But yeah, all will be revealed, mate. But yeah, how are you
Yeah,
feeling? How's the break for you?
yeah, all right. I missed FPL if I'm honest. Just
Yeah.
feel like you get started, and then after 3 game weeks, another week out. I think we're already back for 4 until the next international break. So make the most of that. But I have come into this game week, so heading up to game week 4 with 3 free transfers. I'm yet to make a move. I will not be rolling this week. I'll tell you that for free. So yeah, looking forward to getting your opinions on what I can do. Not really been too impacted by the international break and my international players, luckily. But yeah, appreciate you recently bought in Saar, and there's some bad news for him today.
Yeah, well, I think that was a leak like right at the beginning of the international break. But yeah, I'm a game week one Grand Larson owner. He's out. Uh,
Yeah,
I mean, it's certainly Strand Larson, yeah, kind of saw. Obviously brought him in last week, got some points, which are good. So he got the kind of 7 points. So I think
yeah,
I gotta appreciate that. But yeah, he's out. So both of them are big problems. And yeah, I've got. If you're thinking of FPL moves at branches, I've got lots of branches I could go off
nice.
in. It probably changes some of my opinions around chip strategy as well. So I think
Yeah, nice.
it's lots of stuff. But yeah, I up until today, I haven't really considered too much from an FPL point of view. I want to wait till the team presses and yeah,
Yeah,
obviously otherwise occupied with other stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's good. It's good, mate. And yeah, apologies for this going out on a Friday. That's me
Just
being a shoddy
both of us,
coach.
pal. Both
Um,
of us with different. But the benefit to a Friday is we've had the presses, and I will ask you some questions on the presses and what the managers have said. For the listeners, we're going to focus on a couple of things in this episode. So number one, we'll bring up the fixtures in a second, look at which teams are expected to score a lot of goals in the coming weeks, as well as be solid defensively. We will then talk about the game week 4 talking points. So again, what the managers have said, what players might be out, and get Matt's thoughts on what you maybe should do if you hold some of them. Have a look at captain options. And if you haven't got any Liverpool players like me, captain is a bit more difficult, but we'll have a look at that before Matt and I both look at our teams and reveal what we're looking to do ourselves. But yeah, I'll start with that first one, mate. Looking at the fixture ticket, because I feel like there's a little bit of a swing. So I've loaded it up, mate. Looking at the next 6 game weeks, looking at which team would score the most goals. Unsurprisingly, Liverpool at the top. Obviously, bought in Isaac since we last spoke. I think it was.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, I think so.
and added one of the best attackers in the world. Man City and Arsenal and Chelsea, the big teams are all up there, and then Bournemouth and Brighton come up. But yeah, who are you looking at in terms of your attacking players?
Well, I think you can see on the ticker there that you've got like game week 4 to game week 9 according to fix the amount of goals. Obviously Liverpool top for that was that a 6 game week period. However, I think there's some big swings, right? So I think at the next two, Liverpool ones surprisingly seem like no brainers, right? Given that the next two fixtures are the right ones, right? But then if you're looking at the next 2 game weeks in isolation, particularly game week 6, Haaland plus, yeah, your additional City players of choice seem pretty interesting. I mean, like guys that have got like nice. So I think between City and Liverpool, there's some quite natural swings, right? So game week 4, game week 5 being Liverpool, then game week 6 and 7 being having a City bias. I think that chip strategy can influence how you navigate that. Other teams, players that are looking good, I think none are hugely compelling.
Yeah,
If I'm being totally honest, Arsenal are kind of solid, I would say.
yeah,
So Gyökeres is pretty interesting. I think he'd be the only attacker I'd be considering at this stage with Saka being
yeah,
out. I think we'll talk about the Forest change of manager, but I think Forest they were leaky anyway under the previous manager under Nuno, right? So I think even with Postecoglou coming in, that's a nice game. They got a nice game week 7 as well. Let's look at some of the I guess I dare I say like the weaker teams. Who have we got?
What about Newcastle? See that 2.2. Appreciate then 5 and 6 a bit.
I think
But
I'm just trying to think of viable players without rotation that you can trust, right? So Liverpool, you got Salah, of course. I think Wirtz is intriguing, and Isak does me, Ekatike and Gakpo may have a bit of a minutes risk. I wouldn't say rotation risk,
we'll
but
come on to
minutes
that.
risk, maybe game week 4 and game week 5. Man City's Haaland or bust, really, bar Reinders. Arsenal is Gyökeres or bust. Chelsea, Palmer's probably missing this week. Let's see if he comes back game week 5. Newcastle, Gordon's out. We don't know how Visser versus the other striker is gonna work out. Spurs, no idea. Little Jarvis Simmons now as well. Right? Richarlison versus Solanke versus others. Bournemouth, that's good. I know Evan Nilsson and Semenyo will be good bets, so that gives me some certainty. Brighton, too much uncertainty outside of Matoma. Is it Ruta? Is it Welbeck? Who's starting? I have no idea. Brentford, I think, have been more solid, but like we're kind of clutching at straws now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thiago, Thiago's okay. Sade's okay. Wolves, you don't really go there outside of Strand Lancer, who's now injured. Palace have got a nice
couple. Nice okay, next three.
Yeah, exactly. They got a nice three of the kind of weaker teams. I'm very surprised that Villa, how lowly they rank it, but I think it's probably a reflection. So I mean,
interesting.
We're not sport for choice. We're not sport for choice. Is what I'm concluding. Like Everton are really low down, right? They're the next 7.3 goals. That's pretty weak. But India is out now. But before he was out, there was probably you had India, you had the Grealish and Dewsbury Hall as like options that you would think could be viable. So I think I don't think we're sport for choice.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Out of interest, mate, before we move on, we'll look at the defence very briefly. But Villa, right? I'm surprised that's 0.9 away at Everton, because Everton's defence, if you look at the data, has not been great this season at all. It's been relatively poor. But then it's not too bad. I know a lot of people are quite happy to get off of Watkins quite quickly, but away at Sunderland, a home of Fulham, a home to Burnley, away at Tottenham, and then a home to City coming up. Like, I know you've got them. Whether you maybe looking at your exit route from Watkins?
I think it's like a lot of things at the moment. It's chip strategy dependent, right? Are you wildcarding anytime soon? Are you free hitting, bench boosting, etc., right? Do you want to be rolling transfers? I think in isolation, given price points, I would move Watkins to Gyökeres for sure if I had no other problems.
Yeah.
I mean, would you feel the same? I certainly would do.
Right now, no, I wouldn't. Purely for fixtures, mate. Purely for fixtures, because I'm looking at that. Okay, that's great, but then it's City, Newcastle. Okay, West Ham's pretty good, but then it's Fulham away and Palace. I think over that, I'd probably try to change it here.
Yeah, I think that's optimal. But I think there is an option if you have nothing else to do. You could viably do that in the next 2 weeks. But personally, I've got other fires to put out, so I'd probably keep one. As long as it's a must-have sell. But like, I think if you got nothing else to do and you want to be a bit aggressive, I think that's a viable option.
Get it? No, would you?
I think Gyökeres next 4, which is the nice window for Watkins in inverted commas, the nice Villa window. I think Gyökeres will outscore him. I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
Yeah, especially if he keeps taking the pens.
Well, it's just a better team, right? And I think fixtures are probably slightly biased towards Arsenal. I would say, but slim pickings, I would say here. I think game week 4, game week 5, Liverpool bias towards the game week 6, game week 7. City bias is an interesting thing for people to navigate for sure.
I want to look at this, mate. I know we'll come on to our team reveals in a second, right? But I look at this. I have 0 Liverpool players. I have 1 City player, 0 Arsenal, 0 Newcastle. This isn't a bad week for a free hit. we'll talk about that in a bit.
You're right. I think it's a real viable option for people who've got no Liverpool players.
It's not a bad show. Anyway, looking at the defence, Arsenal, unsurprisingly, at the top of the shop with their very strong defensive starts, despite the fact they played some tough games already, followed by City, Chelsea. Palace up there, as well as Everton.
Well, I'm not surprised. Like, there's some of these like upper mid-table teams that are just like kind of like really tough to score against, right? And they never get hammered. They might concede a goal here or there, right? So I think we're looking at here, as you said, the next game week's Arsenal 2.6 expected clean sheets. Then it goes to 2.2 for City, 2.1 to Chelsea, and then a couple of teams with like 2 predicted clean sheets: Palace, Everton, Liverpool. Obviously, we've spoken about before, but I think we've got a balanced pure clean sheets with attacking returns and DEFCON as well. I mean, there's a bit of flavour of people who would be almost no-brainers for you here, right? A Palace defender seems quite obvious, right?
Yeah.
And I think when I look at your team, there might be one or two interesting ones. The next, you could viably play most weeks, right? When you look at DEFCON from a Richards and Lacroix point of view, and then you add perspective Munoz being an attacker, then it's really interesting, right? A really nice game week 4, 50-50 odds of getting a clean sheet, and then there's other nice game weeks in game week 8, game week 5, game week 7 for Palace. So Palace are really interesting. The Tarkowski seems spot on for Everton.
He's been an absolute points machine when it comes to DEFCON.
Senesi, or like a Truffert from Bournemouth. So I think this one's a bit more interesting. There's plenty of options, right? And I think there's probably going to be a decision point for people doing free hits or wild cards this week or coming weeks. Do they want to get expensive Arsenal defenders or keep it cheap?
Cheap player. But I was just looking at the bottom. United, third to bottom. City, Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland is the only good-looking fixture there. But obviously, I just saw Onana's gone, so maybe sort on the keeper.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know really highly owned are they though, really, but
no.
Man United defenders are a little bit irrelevant. Well, I would say irrelevant, but I think there's going to be a choice. Every week coming forward now is like, do people want to start paying that money for an Arsenal defender, or keep it cheaper and get those maybe a higher potential for DEFCON?
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm going to stop sharing, pal, because we're going to move on to just talking of the week. So I've got a couple of questions for you, right? Like, ignore me whilst I look at my phone. I promise you I'm not looking at my texts or anything. It's just that I've got some things noted. Okay, so starting with the big news. Everybody's been looking for the Chelsea news. A lot of us may have held Palmer or got sold. So here is what Maresca said. Palmer took part in the session yesterday for the first time, but not the entire session. We've got one more this afternoon. We are going to try with him to see if he's okay. Otherwise, he will be out tomorrow. What do you make of it? I know you sold him already, but if you still had him, are you holding? Are you selling?
I'd probably bite the bullet and hold at this stage. Again, everything, because everyone's got all these different like pathways. It's chip dependent. When do you play a wild card? If you're doing a wild card 6, maybe you would, or 7, maybe you'd get rid of him. I don't know, but I'd probably just ride the wave and just like play a decent first sub. Starting, of course, I'd assume that he would. He might get minutes and subbed on, but he's a good player in there, right? So I'd keep him for
what a hold.
Game week 5, game week 6, right? The good thing is it doesn't look like he's out long term, right?
Yeah. You imagine even if he doesn't play tomorrow, he's back game week 5. An interesting one of that. Maresca also spoke about the Brazilian players in the squad. So João Pedro will be one of them. Appreciate he's one of the most highly owned players in the game.
Yeah.
They arrived back late. They arrived back yesterday. So on Thursday, they returned back. They did some recovery, but they didn't train. For all of them, it's going to be a question mark. When they play in Bolivia, it's so difficult that they can be back. What do you make of that?
Yeah. Well, good as a non-owner of João Pedro, of course, but I'd be starting him, of course. I think my prediction would be he starts and then maybe get subbed early, right? But when there's a lack of options, then on play GUI, right? Up front. Delap is out.
No, you wouldn't think.
3 months.
Yeah, Delap's out.
Palmer's out, presumably, right? Who else going to play forward? Pedro?
Yeah.
But like
Neto.
he's needed on the wing. He's needed on the wing if Palmer's not playing right. So I'd imagine if I was going to do a bet, it would be Pedro start and then 70 minutes up.
Yeah, get it. And then the other player some people have, Strand Larsen, ruled out for the game. Now, we don't know how long that injury is, but he's a definite absentee tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you own him? Do you own him still? What are you thinking?
I still own him. So, yeah, massive regrets going with Strand Larsen at the beginning of the season. But, yeah, I couldn't really predict that he had a underlying injury sprinkled in with like Newcastle transfer for kind of like rumours. Yeah, I really thought the injury was like a bit of a deadline day thing. That he was out of the squad just whilst they sorted that out. If I knew he was going to be out this week, I would have preferred to get rid of Strand Larsen than Markui because I kept him in my squad because Strand Larsen could be my third forward, of course, and or my final attacker, so a bench boostable sort of player. Depends on options, right? I think or structure, right? So if you can get to Gyökeres, I think he's probably the only viable one. If you can get to Gyökeres somehow without hits, I'd consider that. Yeah, Strand Larsen to Gyökeres, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But if you can't get that much money.
If you can't get to that, then you might as well just like, and you've got viable other options. Spend who else are you going to get to?
Yeah.
There's no
Mateta?
Yeah, I think Mateta, yeah, good point. Mateta is an interesting one.
What about Evan Nielsen?
Probably not.
No.
I think more Strand Larsen there is like a part of a 2 move, right? So you upgrade or downgrade someone else, or you downgrade Strand Larsen down to a 4.4, 4.5 striker and then move on.
Use the money. Yeah.
I don't think there's massive compelling strikers in that price bracket. Probably Evan Nielsen and as you mentioned and Mateta are the options. But I mean structurally, people have got Strand Larsen. He's probably their third forward.
Yeah.
And you don't want to put too much money there. I think just so. I'm personally probably going to ride it up, but I think people got viable options where it's quite an easy move to get to a Gyökeres there. I'd consider that this week for sure. The
other one,
I think the Forest fixture is nice for Arsenal.
Yeah. No, I agree. The other one is a big player that I was gutted because he was going to be a definite transfer for me this week. You have him now, Sarr. He has been confirmed to miss game week 4 and game week 5. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm just like thankful he got his 7 points against Villa. Could have been 8 or 9, given I think he got a yellow card because he was actually injured. They thought he was diving, but he was actually injured. So that 7 points should have been 8 or 9 if he didn't get that yellow card. It's a shame because obviously the Sunderland fixture was the one. The next 2, Sunderland and West Ham, is really where you were targeting Palace players. And like me personally, I've got 3 Palace players now, and it's kind of blocked me out of the next best option, or maybe even better option in Munoz, right? Because if I've got a Sarr, he's a midfielder from Palace, and then Munoz is a defender. Of course, I've got Richardson, Mateta as well. I think I've probably got to move him. Really looking at my squad, I could roll. I've got enough depth, and like other people might have depth, but there's a wealth of interesting midfield options. I think. We'll go through them in a bit, but I think Strand Larsen,
absolutely. When we look,
best viable options. I think Sarr, there's options below his price point and slightly above his price point are very interesting for different time frames, right? You could go to a Gakpo, you could go to a Semenyo, you could go to a Vert even if some people got money. If you want to target those next 2 Liverpool kind of fixtures, you could go to a Dewsbury Hall, you could go to a Keta, you could go to an Anson. There's a wealth of options, right? So I think the forwards I think is a bit more difficult. I think Sarr, you probably want to be moving him, unfortunately, given like the next 2 games, which he's probably going to miss. Definitely missing Sunderland, probably missing. Missing out. It's probably time to move, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
got
the
it.
easy
Yeah,
fixtures.
looking forward to these ones as well. But yeah,
And that was it. These were the two because it's West Ham after that. So these were the two that you were
yeah,
banking on. The seemed to move for me, but yeah, out of that one, the other obviously like, big news over the transfer window is that he's joining Liverpool,
yeah.
but Blot has said he was very complimentary about Jean Dahl Thomason, and now we use him for Sweden. I'm trying to manage him back without giving him an injury. And he said about the Swedish manager played if he had played him twice for 90 minutes, he would have probably got injured. We will treat Alex the same as they did. He missed a proper preseason. Now we have to build him up gradually. We signed him for 6 years. That to me screams Isaac is not getting a start.
No, of course, yeah. I'd say that probably stretches to game week 5, and then we'll reconsider game week 6, right? But yeah, I think it's more of minutes risk, particularly for
Yeah.
Ekitike and Gakpo, right?
Now,
But like,
question on that, pal. Right?
mhm,
I obviously don't own any Liverpool players. I
mhm.
can't make my budget as stretch to get myself to Salah. However, I could get an Ekatike, I could get a Gakpo. Given in like 2-3 weeks, or they might not even be starting anymore. Is that too much of a short term move?
I don't think that's I don't think it's personally worth it. No.
Yeah, it's just you're kind of banking a future transfer,
Yeah,
which I,
you're
I
going to be
don't
in a
like
nice.
doing.
You're not going to have a nice position. I don't know when you're planning to play chips and whatnot. We'll talk about that when we talk about our own
Yeah,
teams because it's quite critical in terms of pathway. But yeah, you've got a nice luxury, right? That you can like play some very ambitious kind of moves moving forward, right? I don't think now is necessarily the right time, right? Given the options you'd be bringing in, Woods has been unproven and underwhelming.
yeah,
Gakpo and or Ekatike could be playing 60 minutes the next two,
yeah.
and then almost certainly one of them will be dropped, right? So I think
Absolutely.
I won't be making those moves myself personally.
No. That's
Unless you're wild card in game week 6, which I don't think you are.
no. Don't plan to. I think I'm with you, mate. But yeah, they were the big ones. Any other little other bits of news? NDI is a doubt, but the boys said he's a doubt. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
a
when
shame.
they
I think
come
actually
back.
he's a very viable option in midfield, right? But I don't think you can go there when there's
Based
a
on that.
reference point of a knock. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah, he's kind of interesting. I think a lot of us considered him, like you and I think both considered him in our
He's in the
first
draft,
draft.
the first draft. Yeah, he's annoying.
But then,
It's,
I think we looked at Everton attack, and then rumors of people coming in is going to impact his minutes, etc. Blah 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 blah. People come in, it seems like his minutes have been better and also increased his attacking potential. So yeah, I think he's a really nice player that I'm looking to afford to own sometime in the
at
season.
some point. Yeah, absolutely. He's
And
he's done.
I'd say actually, Everton attackers obviously has like 3 good options. We'll see if like a 4 kind of emerges. But yeah, Dewsbury Hall, Grealish, and Di have been the options that you would consider before the
Yeah.
injury. I'd say Ndi was the best one, ignoring price point and whatnot. Ndi would be the best one.
On pens as well. We
Yeah,
think. I know they haven't had a pen yet, but I'm assuming he will be on the pens.
no,
Uh,
exactly. So yeah, the goal scorer versus the creator. So yeah, I think
yeah,
yeah, shame. But and yeah, for some of the other stuff you mentioned, Saar replacements, that he would be near that top of the list if he was fit. But like, I think you can't risk it when it's and Knox are being
yeah.
referenced, right?
And yeah, Ina out for 3 months as well, mate. Ina gone.
Well,
I know you don't have a
that's pretty cool from a Nico Williams point of view, who is
yeah,
fairly high owned, right? I think there
yeah.
could have been he could have been a rotation risk in my opinion, but
With
with
Zinchenko, absolutely.
exactly. But like I think
Yeah,
Aina being out, I think Williams can play both sides, as can to a lesser extent Zinchenko. So it's good. That's well, Forest neither here nor there, right? But I think yeah, Williams owners is not a crisis right now.
but if I'm honest with me, yeah, given Ange's defensive record at Tottenham, I'm not expecting Forest's defence
I
to be very good.
I think just the Forest record itself this season and the back end of
Yeah,
last season, let
yeah,
alone
it's
Ange.
poor.
But
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I've never seen like a a radical 1 game week change, though, right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think if you overestimate it, right, they're suddenly not going to start going all out attack, right? Surely, I might be wrong.
I just don't know. Again, I appreciate this as an FPL podcast, not a football podcast. I don't think they've got the play. Chris Wood's not the sort of player that's going to close down at the front as well as what he had at Tottenham. Anyway, we'll I'll leave that for the match of the day pundits. Looking at me, we'll look at the game week 4 captains and some options there. Let me share my screen again because it's couple of choices when you look at the list, but bring up the table. Our football fantasy fix have put together. So looking at game week 4 in isolation, unsurprisingly, considering he has Burnley, Mo Salah is top of the shop, closely followed by Haaland, with Salah on 7.5, Haaland on 6.9. Haaland has Man United at home, and he scored 5 for Norway midweek. Now it was against Moldova, was it, or somebody like that? So I'm not getting carried away, but the guy is in form. If you had both, mate, where would you put the armband?
Salah.
Salah, stick with it. Stick with the fixture.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I think the gap is fair, but I think Haaland, Salah, then Haaland are the standouts. Interesting, according to Fix, Share is next from Newcastle, but I think obviously he's a defender. They got a nice fixture, but I think there's got to be a bit of things around there, assuming he's taking pens with Gordon being out. Obviously, Isak's left, but I'm a bit more skeptical on that. But yeah, it's interesting to see him. There's some fun picks here, though. Like Munoz is a fun pick. I think Reinders here, 5.4. It's an interesting game for him. Gakpo, I agree. Really good option for this coming game week. Mateta, agree. I'm surprised not to see Gyökeres.
Yeah. Don't know where he is, actually. It looks like, you're right. The Arsenal defenders are ahead of him. Bruno G's ahead of him. Let's go to the next page, see where he lines up. Don't know where he is, mate. He's hidden. Watkins down to 3.8. Tell you what.
Yeah.
He's expected to get 3.7. 3.7 points.
Yeah. I'd put him closer to 6. I'd put him as the third best option, I would say.
Yeah. You obviously have Salah.
Yeah, for me it'd be Salah, big gap, Haaland, gap, Gyökeres, Mateta, Munoz, Wirtz, Gakpo, something like that.
I was going to ask about that. So obviously Mateta's got Sunderland.
Yeah, not too dissimilar from this, but yeah, I think Mateta and Munoz are probably a bit damaged by their best 2 players being injured in Wharton and Sarr.
Yeah.
And I think we said before at Palace, like when they're all fully fit and firing, great team, right?
Good absolutely. Absolutely.
In the squad, like, and yeah, as you would imagine, if you lose those 2 key players, the downgrade is pretty massive. It's not Man City or Arsenal in terms of squad depth, right? So I think that diminished them a little bit, but I think it's Salah or Haaland for me.
Yeah. Would you consider Ekitike if you haven't got either of them as well?
No.
Gakpo over him.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's just probably the minutes side of thing.
Yeah. Because you think Isak will probably
there's going to be something post 60 minutes, so you're just going to be in whatever scenario in the game. You're going to be fearful Isak gets on for him, right?
Yeah. He'll take some minutes off him, definitely. So there you go. Salah number 1, Haaland number 2, and you're giving it to Gyökeres as number 3.
So what do you think?
In all honesty, based on how he started the season, I wouldn't be putting the armband on Salah. I don't think the way Liverpool are playing this season suits Salah. If you look at his expected goal involvement per 90, it's behind Ekitike. I'm pretty sure it's behind Gakpo, if I'm not mistaken. So I think if I had the armband, if I had those players, like, I'd be putting on Haaland over Salah if I had both.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay.
Just thinking, I mean, the form Haaland's in, so I'll have a look now just to compare the two. But the form Haaland's in, I just can't ignore it. And United have been shipping goals. Granted, they've now got a new keeper,
Yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, it's a good fixture. It's a good fixture for Haaland.
But Salah expected goal involvement per 90. You ready? 0.22 this season.
No, he's been poor. He's been poor. You're right.
And then Haaland's is like insane, 1.49. So I just wouldn't be able to overlook that. I
Yeah,
don't
no.
think. So I'll be
Well,
whacking it on.
easy choice.
I mean,
Easy choice. You've only got one of them, as have I. So.
Exactly. Luckily for me, I've got Haaland in that scenario. So I think it's yeah, that's where I'd be putting it regardless.
Really, yeah,
Ignore
we'll see
me.
what happens the next 2 game weeks, right? These are the 2 prime Liverpool ones, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
City have had probably slightly easy ones for the first 3. So let's kind of see if this bad form continues.
Exactly. Ignore me whilst I click on this. I just need the time, 31:17. But we're going to move on to our teams, mate. And just because I'm sharing my screen already, we'll start with me this week. This is the team I've currently got. And if I'm honest, I don't hate it. So for those that are listening as opposed to watching, Sanchez and goal away at Brentford. They've got a defence of Truffert, Tarkowski, and Pedro Porro. Don't mind that as a back three at all. I've then got across the midfield Kudus away at West Ham. Be interested to see how he gets on against his former club. Palmer, we'll see if he gets any game time. Bruno Fernandes away at City. And then the one that I don't like is Adingra away at Palace, especially as he, for the first time this season, actually started on the bench in game week 3. And then up front, I've got problems. Watkins, fine. Don't mind that away at Everton. Haaland at home to United. But Strand Larsen is there and it looks to be, well, definitely missing this game week. We'll see how far that goes. And to be honest, Anderson's on the bench. He'll probably get DEFCON because he's playing Arsenal. So I don't, he's probably going to come in with 4 points, but probably not much more. So good news for me, mate, is I have 3 transfers. So I can do some serious moves. I'm not totally against a free hit. And the reason I'm considering the free hit, mate, is I look at the people I'm probably going to sell, right? If I sell them, if I sell them this week, and it's going to be Strand Larsen, and then look at his fixtures following this Newcastle away game, which I don't really want him for anyway. He's got Leeds at home, good fixture. Tottenham away, don't mind that at all. Brighton, decent fixture. Sunderland, decent fixture.
Assuming he's fit in it, I think that's the big thing. He could miss.
Yeah.
Right? But like, I kind of hear what you're saying. Here's the week game, and there's not many compelling replacements
options.
For him.
And it's the same for Palmer. Look at Palmer again. Don't really want him this week because he'll probably be on the bench. But then following that, okay, not as nice, but he's got United, Brighton at home, Liverpool at home, Forest away.
Yeah, he can do
games that he can get points in. So it's either a case of I'm going to sell Strand Larsen.
You got some bosses as well this week. Adingra is a problem, and Kudus. I won't put much things on. Watkins, you can probably. I prefer Gyökeres this week. I'm sure you're the same. The defense, I think there could be a lot better. You've got no Liverpool players for their prime fixture. I'd be seriously considering. I think it works really nicely for your team. Given Palmer's doubts, and I'm probably guessing he's going to be out. I think you're probably thinking the same. Strand Larsen's certainly out, and then you're playing some pretty naff players, right?
Yeah, honestly. So like, even if I do that, so if I do the transfers, I'll go back to the team I'll play. But if the transfers I'd consider, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did consider Palmer, Strand Larsen, and Adingra, and I could bring in Semenyo, Mateta, and Grealish.
I mean, I wouldn't be getting rid of Palmer.
So this is why the free hit works so nicely. The only other thing I could do if I didn't want to get rid of Palmer and I wanted to bench him, you could do Adingra to Dewsbury Hall. That'd be quite an easy move. Get myself 0.5 million in the bank. Where's he gone?
He's not got great long-term fixtures though, right?
No, I know. But it then allows me to move a Nico Williams potentially to a Munoz, and then start him. Is Munoz only how much is Munoz? 5.5? Has he gone up?
He's 5.5.
5.6. I mean, 0.1 shy. So I'd have to find that somewhere. But I've got
you got a prime fixture to bring in Mateta, Munoz,
Salah,
Richards or Henderson. Then you can go Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike, or Van Dijk. I think looking at your team, I would do that. Gyökeres for that against that stinking Forest team.
Yeah. I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't honestly.
I'd be free.
I'm quite a fan.
I'd be free hitting your team.
And
I think obviously that means that you probably want to keep the wild card a little bit longer to give you that certainty. But I think it's like there's a big upgrade here, given that Liverpool are the big danger here, best attacking team, you would say on paper. You know, he's actually not going to play.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And that's it. That's because I wanted Ekatike, but as soon as we bought Isaac, I was like, well, that's a problem because I'm just banking a transfer. If you want to free it,
I guess
it works.
Can you afford a good team though? That's the thing. Because I guess you're adamant you're going to keep Haaland.
He's going nowhere. That guy's going nowhere. So, all right, we'll do it very quickly, right? So we'll get rid of him. Get rid of him. I won't do it too long because I do want to talk about your team. He can go. Who else can go? Tarkowski. No, I'll probably keep him.
As everyone should go, really.
Yeah, no, he might go just to save some cash.
You probably really get rid of Fernandez, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah. But even if I make this a 4 million, let's just put in some of the big ones, right? We put in Ekatike
and
Gyökeres.
I consider Wirtz and Gakpo over Ekatike, but
I fancy Ekatike. I'd still bring in Semenyo. He'd come in. I'd want some Chelsea cover, so I'd probably bring in Enzo.
Really? I reckon it's just going hard on your core of your team's got to be Liverpool and Palace.
Oh yeah, where's Palace? I need a Palace player. Yeah, he'd go in the defence.
Mateta now.
I know. It's the problem, isn't it? It's the problem. There's too many.
Liverpool got good midfielders on paper, right?
So right. So you get rid of him, put in.
You could put Mateta, right?
Mateta down here. Get him in 7.5. Then, as you say, you could then make Gakpo could go in. He's had a good start to the season. That's not bad. How much have I got left? 23 million. So that'd be a 4 million, probably another 4 million. So and then I've got 11.9 still to play with.
Well, you probably go. Well, you'd go Wirtz. I
don't think I would. I don't think I'd pick Wirtz. Yeah, I'd probably. I don't mind doing Virgil. Getting Virgil in.
You do need to put Salah in the team.
That's a good point. He's not there, is he?
Which is.
Yeah, I forgot I hadn't put him in.
Anyway,
bit of playing around with, but it's doable,
right? Yeah.
But that'd be where I'm leaning, mate. I'm kind of thinking a free it works for me because it means as I say, I can keep Palmer.
I'm a big fan. I think your team looks quite poor this week actually with the injuries, right? And you want to keep Palmer, and it sounds like you want to keep Strand Larsen just to kind of see what happens. And then
yeah.
Forest then have nice fixtures, game week 5 and 6. They're bad week, right?
Exactly. And it's the derby next week for Liverpool. So I'm not. And the benefits of it to this season, and thanks to last season's rule changes, I'll keep my 3 free transfers. So then I can just in game week 5, still got plenty to do.
So. No, exactly. Do you who are the problems in your team? I think there's a few. But
right now, it's for long term, mate. Long term, what problems?
Just not just this week, but kind of like players that you think are.
Adingra needs to go because he's in effect a starting midfielder for me and is dreadful. So he needs to go. We'll see how Watkins gets on. And he's got some nice fixtures, but I'll keep an eye on him. I don't think Kudus has been that good, or Kudus at all. Given how Tottenham have started. But if you look at his underlying fixtures, mate, 0.28 per 90 minutes expected goal involvement. Goal-wise, pretty much non-existent in the last 2 games.
Yeah, he's been bad, yeah.
So I think I could move him on quite easily. And then Nico Williams. Now that the Ania injury might help me out, but now that they've got Zinchenko on his side, there's 5 million in him. I could quite easily make him.
I agree. I think those Dingra. I think your final attacker is an issue, right? Your last 2 attackers an issue, right? Strand Larsen being injured, of course. Then Kudus to Dingra. You need to find money somehow.
Yeah, I know.
which could
I know.
be Strand Larsen down to a 4.4, right?
Yeah.
That could be that could be the route. I think I'll ignore Ronaldo because he's like irrelevant. Nico
Yeah, yeah,
Williams,
yeah.
they can serve you up until game week 6 for the next two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Porro, I think is not ideal, and I say that as
No,
an
he's
owner.
not been great. He's not been great, has he? Have a look
Because
at have a
they're
look at
playing 4 at the back, right? Rather than him playing as an advanced wing back, and he's not dominating set pieces, right? And I think that will become even more of a problem with Simmons coming in, who's a bit of a set piece expert. So he's been
yeah.
serviceable, right? But I think he should be on the watch list given his price point, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
I'd rather
interestingly,
who knows
he's yeah.
or Senesi.
But, yeah. But very interestingly, he's got more expected goals per 90 than Kudus.
Yeah, Kudos have been bad, man.
Aye. So I think I've got the wrong Tottenham players. But I don't mind. I don't mind. You know, I don't mind rolling the 3 transfers. I think free hit works for my team.
I reckon
Keeps the players I want to keep.
if you did a free transfer, who would it be? Just like it's really hard to say.
I know this is it. So it'd be Strand Larsen that'd have to go because he's out. So I'd have to get rid of him.
There's no one unless you're getting him to a 4.4 and then upgrading one of your midfielders. But then again, who would that be for at this moment?
This is it. I'd have to end up dropping Kudus to a Drewsbury Hall to then upgrade Strand Larsen to a Mateta, or I'd be selling Palmer.
That's probably the move. Yeah, Kudos to Paqueta or Dewsbury Hall and then Strand Larsen to Mateta. But I think don't feel great for using 2 free transfers, right? I think a free hit seems pretty viable, actually. Yeah, compare this team to your prospect one, and it's going to be you might struggle to fit in both Haaland and Salah.
Yeah.
And Gyökeres. I don't think you can have all those top players.
No, that's it.
I think your team will be a lot better than this one.
I might die on my sword, pal. If I do a free hit, I might die on my sword. I am Team Haaland from an FPL asset and an FPL asset only. Yeah. I'm Team Haaland over Salah, so I might end up not having Salah.
You could go Van Dijk. You don't like Virtue, so you could go Gakpo, Ekitike, and Van Dijk if you wanted to, right?
Exactly that, and save the money there. I think that'd be the route I'd go.
I think it'd be a bit bold going without Salah free hitting with an opportunity to get Salah, but I'd be trying to push for that. There's some cheap mids that are all right this week.
Honestly, the stats are just off him, man. The stats are just off Salah.
You got your conviction, so yeah, go for it. But yeah, I like the free hit. I like the free hit.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it today, really, and thinking that it looked a nice time to play. I was planning to play it later I think it was game week 19. I had in my head because it was a week I could rarely attack, but I'm getting 5 free transfers in game week 16, which I could utilize to do that. But anyway, that's enough of my team. We have chatted on my team for 13 to 12 minutes. We'll pass it on to yours, pal.
A potential free hit is pretty big news, and I kind of tend to agree with it. So yeah, my squad for those who can't see it: Sanchez, Richards, Anderson, Porro, Salah captain, Wirtz, Fernandez, Reinders, Sarr, Mateta, Watkins, and then the bench of Dubravka, Strand Larsen, Van der Ven, and Esteve. So it looks good if I didn't have injuries, right? It looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got 2 Liverpool attackers against Burnley. It's got 3 Palace players against Sunderland. It's got Anderson versus Leeds. Right, it's looking good. And then the remaining players aren't bad, right? Fernandez, well, I think it's probably actually I would say be the best player in the game right now. Hey,
lots of points, routes to goal,
lots of routes to points. Yeah. And then Reinders is against Man United. There's an interesting game. Watkins is fine. Porro is fine, right? So it looks good. Obviously, Sarr and Strand Larsen being out is problems, which I need to resolve. Elsewhere, looking at my team, who are going to be problems? And I'm thinking of price points as well. Sanchez and Dubravka is fine. Richards is fine. Anderson is very happy to have it. Anderson. Porro, I think we spoke about as part of your team. I think he's a little bit pricey for what he's offering.
Yeah.
So certainly on the watch list. Salah, only given 2 weeks, game week 4 and game week 5, right? Given like who they're playing. They're playing Burnley and then they are playing Everton home. Let's see what happens there. I could just get rid of him then, whether it's a wild card or transferring out. Wirtz, he's definitely on the chopping board. Game week 6, right?
Yeah.
Fans very happy with him. Reinders, his price point is fine, right? I'm not too happy with him. Yeah, Sarr is an issue. Sarr would be a great player, but yeah, obviously issue because he's injured. Mateta is fine, right? Mixed fixtures, but yeah, kind of start. We'll get 90 minutes and on pens.
Penalties. Yeah.
Watkins got, of course, on the watch list, but there are a few nice touts for him, including Gyökeres. Dubravka fine. Strand Larsen is a problem both structurally, right? Because of his price point. Not many options there, right? Who else is around 6.5 or less? Thiago from Brentford, maybe?
Yeah.
Evan Nielsen.
Evan Nielsen's not that much higher.
I don't love him. Van der Ven, I think, there's better 4.5 options than Van der Ven. Esteve, he's 4.0, so it's fine. But like, so generally okay. My team, there's a few kind of people on the watch list, right? So here and now, looking at my team, I've got no free transfers, just FY, because I did 2 previous week. I could roll.
You got one.
Yeah, one free transfer. Right? One free transfer. So I could play Van der Ven against West Ham. Don't love that. Probably gonna have to move Sarr, right? So
2 weeks.
I've spoken that because Strand Larsen, I don't think there's a like for like option. I've got 0.9 in the bank. I don't think there's an option within that price range now that I've got Mateta that I would want to really get to in one free transfer. So Sarr does have more options, right? So shortlist in no particular order. Dewsbury Hall, if I'm going right down. There is Paqueta, who I like a lot, actually.
Yeah.
5.9 on penalties, playing a 10, 90 minutes. Has got DEFCON in one game, but also got just 1 point behind it. So he is pretty much like Bruno Fernandes, a mini Bruno Fernandes. Like him a lot. There would have been NDI as an option, but obviously he doubts that, drops off. There could have been Grealish.
You say you've got 0.9, mate?
I think so. Let's have a look.
I've got a move.
But like,
I've got a very nice move.
Which you're probably going to go for is Semenyo, right? So
exactly that. Yeah.
So I was working up the price points. Semenyo.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Which probably makes sense, right? So yeah, what I've got to think about is just like my chip window here, right? So Sarr, really, I think that the list of players that I'm considering now are Semenyo and Paqueta. I think they're both cool in different ways. If I go, the benefit, Semenyo, kind of like, if I'm Paqueta, it's more of like a long-term pick, right? And structurally, it kind of like works. But I think just the way things have landed now, I think wildcarding a little bit earlier becomes more appealing for me, right? Because really, I wanted to put kind of accrue transfers to make the most of the Chelsea and the Arsenal fixture swings that are coming up, and offboard my Liverpool players because of transfers with Palmer, because of injuries, with Palmer, and now with Sarr, Strand Larsen. I'm going to be forced to make moves, right? So I think my ability to jump on those fixture swings without a wild card become less. So game week 6, game week 7 become a lot more appealing, right? So I mean, that means I can look a bit more short term in terms of my window whilst keeping a bit of flexibility. So probably does hit towards Semenyo, but let's play with some options. I'm not going to take a hit, but let's say I bring in Semenyo, and then let's say I'm going into game week 5 and I want to get rid of Strand Larsen as well. 6.4. Who would you go for? I would go for,
at that level. Slim pickings in it.
No one, but hopefully Strand Larsen's fit and can play Leeds. But Strand Larsen, you'd go Thiago, right? And who does he play? Plays Fulham. So I don't have to make that move. But if I want a bench boost before a wildcard, that becomes quite interesting, right? Because I can dead end the team, and then that slot becomes a dead end, right? Of course, so I've got that as a thing in mind. If I go I do think these are the two best options just in my price point. So I could go right down to Dewsbury Hall, but let's ignore that for the time being. I don't really want him at the moment. Paqueta, who I like a lot.
Yeah.
Next couple of game weeks,
Palace.
Spurs, Palace, Everton. That's a nice little run. But let me put him back in. Paqueta. Okay, game week 5. I want to get rid of Strand Larsen. I got 7.9, so that gives me a few more options. Right, I could go
You could
João
get
Pedro.
Pedro. Yeah. White United.
Which I don't love, if I'm being honest. But I could go him. Obviously, the person I really want to go to, I've hinted at before, would be Gyökeres. I can't afford that.
How far are you off?
And then
1.1.
yeah,
Would you take a
1.1
hit
off.
for Gyökeres?
No.
No.
I could go down to King there, but I don't really want to do that. So really, if I go, Semenyu's better than Paqueta the next couple of weeks, surely, right? So I reckon, and Strand Larsen, like he could be fit, hopefully,
Yeah.
against Leeds. That would be the ideal, right? So if I had and I'll probably have to make the move today, but like if I went we don't want forwards, do we want midfielders? If I went Semenyo, that's a bench boostable team for game week 5, right? If Strand Larsen's fit.
Yeah.
And if I really wanted to do bench boost, right, I could have the option of moving Strand Larsen to Thiago, right? Or even Muniz from Fulham, from confident on minutes, right? So there are a few other options there. And then what I can do then is wildcard game week 6, right? To jump on Haaland and get rid of some of my Liverpool players as an example, right? Another option is that I just play Semenyo, Salah, Wirtz, Reinders, Fernandes, Watkins, Mateta game week 5. Strand Larsen, if he's injured, and then I've got 2 free transfers to navigate that really interesting fixture swing in game week 6, which could be Salah down to Dewsbury Hall, or Salah down to Paqueta, and then
Strand Larsen to
Haaland.
Haaland.
And I've got the best kind of captain, right? So I think probably where it's pushing me at the moment, I'm just like playing a few. Some I like having budget, but like I'm not really getting much additional options if I go to Paqueta over Semenyo, right? And I think the next couple of weeks for sure, Semenyo's better, right?
I think so. I think the guy's on form. Paqueta's okay. He scored that goal against Chelsea, but it was an absolute thunderbolt and then a penalty. Whereas, Strand Larsen's numbers look incredible.
So it's like Brighton home, Newcastle home, Leeds away, Fulham home. That's a nice run. Lots of home games there, and Semenyo is better at home. So I think probably I'm going to go Semenyo. I'll just have to check price points. I'll do it this evening if the prices are changing. I think that's the option. Paqueta structurally probably works better long term, but I can't see much of the medium term gain of where I'm going to do it. Right, and I think because of these injuries, my wildcard window, which was 13, is probably a lot closer now. It's probably game week 6, game week 7, and I'm very open for a game week 5 bench boost. Right? Whether
set up
that's with Semenyo and Strand Larsen, or whether that's Semenyo and Thiago Muniz, insert those players, right? Ideally, it's just Strand Larsen because he's got a prime fixture there, right? That'd be great.
Yeah, Leeds. Now, on that, mate, I've found Pereira's comment on Strand Larsen. I didn't read it out before. I just said he was out. So he's just said, we are without Larsen. The injury was a bit more serious and he's trying to come back. We want him back as soon as possible, but he's not trained yet.
Yeah, it don't sound good, does it? It don't sound good.
That to me sounds like a 2-3 week job.
Yeah.
Minimum.
So I can play the bench boost, or I can decide not to, right? So I've got that flexibility. I can kind of like roll. So I think that's the ramification of my squad. So going back to the team now, probably Sanchez, Richards home to Sutherland, Anderson home to Leeds, Porro away to Spurs, Salah captain, of course, Averts away to Burnley, Fernandes away to City, Reinders home to United, then Semenyo, then Mateta
Yeah.
as a vice captain, and then kind of Watkins. And that's quite a cool squad. And I think probably, on a single week only, probably a better squad than yours at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Ignoring
100%.
lack of Haaland, right? So
100%.
like
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know I want a wild card right now because I've got 2 Liverpool attackers, right, which you
yeah,
kind of need the next kind of 2 game weeks, right? I think game week 6, game week 7, or later is a more interesting window just for how my squad is set up. So yeah, that's my story, mate.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. I'd be all over that Sarr to Semenyo move, especially if you're thinking of wildcarding in 6 or 7. I
Yeah,
think
not guaranteed, right? And I think Semenyo, the good thing about him is he's a stronghold, as is Paquet for many weeks. But yeah, wildcard, it could just be interesting to jump on those Arsenal assets for game week 7 in preparation. Do that in a convenient way. Do that Salah switch. Haaland gives me the option to kind of sit in because I am wanting to wait and learn for Salah. I am nervous, right? Salah and we've been quite lucky versus Haaland owners, given like the underlying stats. He's been very, very,
don't I
very.
know it? Don't I know it, pal?
So yeah, kind of like Haaland, like he was the right pick. But now there's 2 easy fixtures, so let's see what happens, right? If he's still putting up numbers of 0.3 expected goal involvement of the per 90 next week, I'd happily wildcard or free transfer Salah out, and then kind of like happy days. If he's looking good, I might be a bit like
Keep him
open to navigating in a slightly different way. Right, it's free transfers, free hit, etc. But yeah, I think pathways for me probably lead towards Semenyo, and then probably a earlier wild card than I was expecting.
Yeah. Hey, that's that. But you always teach, man. You always say about make sure you've got flexibility.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
no,
it's just been injuries, right? So the moves last week with the Palmer injury, I was net up by a few points at least. Bringing in Mateta and Sarr, obviously, Sarr and Strand Larson now injured again, so I'm going to have to use free transfer this week really to get a decent squad. I don't really want to play Van der Ven and hemorrhage value on Sarr and Strand Larson. Then game week 5, I can assess what I want to do. On a bench boost, I might bring in a player. If not, I might just roll transfer to have that added flexibility, kind of moving forward. But yeah, I would have liked to have reached game week 5, game week 7 with like a stack of free transfers, like game week, like 3 or 4 transfers, so I can like bring in Arsenal players and restructure my team and maybe use the free hit to navigate that kind of tough Liverpool to Arsenal swap. I'm not going to be able to do that in a clean way, so I reckon I might force a wildcard a little bit earlier than I was planning. But yeah, super early thoughts now. But yeah, probably 90% sure I will go Semenyo. And yeah, I don't mind. It opens a door, doesn't it? I think it's a nice opportunity. Great form, great player, looks like some decent fixtures, playing for a decent team. So who knows? Like it could be, I could get lucky.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick, really good pick.
Yeah.
I think he's a good option.
Nice.
I will be regardless of what I do, whether I free it or I use my free transfers, I'll be very shocked if I don't have if I don't have Semenyo in my team going into game week 4.
Ooh,
so
I reckon the free hit, he's got to be one of the people that you compromise on.
Nah, he'll be there. He'll be there, pal. Purely because he'll wind me up. Because all over these 2 weeks, mate, all over these 2 weeks, I have just been, I'm getting Semenyo, I'm getting Semenyo, I'm getting Semenyo. And then if I don't get Semenyo and he pops, it'll annoy me too much. And I'm all about it, playing for enjoyment.
Salah, then. That's mad.
I'd go without Salah. Genuinely, I'd rather. Jan, I'm not even just saying that for you. You know what I've thought of Salah all season, mate. He's just not been. I went Haaland over Salah for a reason.
You're going for a 65 minutes Ekatike over him.
He won't be getting the armband, regardless. Salah. I'm going to be captain in Haaland. Haaland's not going anywhere, even if a free hit. He's in the squad and he'll have the armband. So, yeah.
How many Arsenal would you have on a free hit?
At least 2. I'd have a defender, definitely, probably Calafiori, because he's just been getting forward so much,
Yeah,
and then probably Gyökeres would probably be the only
these
other
are
option.
expensive players.
I know. This is it. So, which is why the pull would have to be I don't get Salah.
Yeah, true. You're quite right. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the text now as you share your free hit drafts. Like, I like it a lot for your team. I think your
Yeah,
base team, any moves you want to do, it means getting rid of Palmer, which you just
yeah,
kind of want to keep, don't you? And then the base team has got some struggles in it.
yeah. And then I don't mind going into game week 5. Some of the players I've got, I'll have some decent fixtures. Palmer will probably be back.
There's a rule. I think it was one of the ones that I think you identified it yourself. Actually, that it was a nice swing because of like Forest,
Yeah,
Arsenal, and Liverpool have nice games, and then like Forest having like a tough game, like and all quite highly owned players. So I think you called it out at the beginning of the year. So I think it works nicely for your team.
yeah. And I still keep my transfers, and that's the main thing. Otherwise, there's not a chance I'd be playing it. So it's nice to go into game week 5 with still 3 free transfers. So yeah, probably be something to look at.
Mate. Spot on. No, I enjoyed that. I mean, that was kind of good thought process for me.
Good.
Like, I enjoyed seeing your team as well.
Yeah, good. I'm glad, and I wish you the best with your new as a new Semenyo owner. The guy looks electric.
And yeah, I'm super curious to see your Salah-less free hit squad.
I'm telling you, man, it's no Salah's the way to go. I'm calling it. Anybody that wants to clip that, feel free to clip it. No Salah is the way to go.
Well, you got a strong opinion on it, right? So, and I think you've got some logic in it. So, I think when you've got those things, go.
No, do you want me? I'll bring up his expected goal involvement to the last @90 for the season again if you want me to.
I wouldn't. The season's the season, though, right? He hasn't played Burnley yet, so.
Yeah, he's played Arsenal, Newcastle, and Bournemouth. So yeah, it's not been the easiest, but
exactly. And has got some good return. He got some nice returns, right? So
yeah, 90+ minute every single time. Just saying, Ekitike played the same teams and has got 0.8 expected goal involvement per 90. Gakpo is well ahead of him as well. You know, just they played the same teams.
Doesn't matter when he's getting subbed at 60 minutes for Isak, right? Once it starts to 60.
Fair point. Maybe Gakpo is the way to go.
I think he's got better minute certainty than Ekitike.
Yeah, I'd agree. I agree, mate. But
he doesn't do anything away from home, so got that dilemma as well, isn't it?
But you know what, Burnley? It's like I know we're going back into match of the day sort of stuff, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's like 2-0 Liverpool. I can't. Burnley are good at home. They haven't lost at home. But Burnley haven't lost at home for 46 games in all competitions. 46, yeah. I'll clarify that I've got that right. But I'm pretty sure they're unbeaten at home for 46 games. So that's that. You know, they've clearly got something there.
This had Trafford overperforming as a keeper last year. That's what they had, and they've lost. Yeah, they've lost their two best players, right? Trafford and Brownhill.
What a bad move for Trafford. Now he's going to go and sit on the bench. So I'm lying. It's not. I thought 46 sounded quite a lot. They've unbeaten in the last 24 home league games. Still quite a lot. Granted, it was the Championship, not the Premiership, but still 24 home games in the league unbeaten.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you also. I'll share some free hit options with you. I think you have a few Newcastle players sprinkled in as well.
Yeah. Shah, if he's going to be taking the pens, mate, why not get him in the defence? Clean sheet, penalty options.
Spot on. No, I reckon you can make Haaland and Salah work.
Yeah. I'll take you some pictures, but appreciate you joining me, pal. Well, weirdly, before we joined this call, I didn't really have much of a desire to play the free hits, but as soon as we brought up that table of like, here's where the goals are this game week, I'm like, I don't have any of them, and I don't have any of them.
And you got a good squad for next week, innit? So I think it's and none of your transfers are good. So I think it's you got to start using them soon, right? There's some people that just like hate using them. And it's like, what's the point? Like, use them game week 15 when everyone's going to have Liverpool and City players anyway. What's your benefit? You're going to have 8 Nori. Wow, over everyone else. Great. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
no, I
nice,
enjoyed
good
that,
point.
mate. But like,
No,
obviously, yeah,
good.
sorry
Appreciate your
for
time.
everyone like watching, listening that we send it out on either Friday evening or Saturday morning. But that's
It
my
may
bad.
work.
My bad.
Nah, it's both of us, man. I was working late as well, so it's work happens, personal life happens, but we got as I say, we got the data from the managers, and means that we've got it out in time for everybody. So yeah, I'll get it up. But yeah, we'll catch up next week, mate. We'll catch up. See how we got on with game week 4. Will David play the free hit or will he not have? We'll find out. Will you got Semenyo? We'll find that out as well. But yeah, appreciate you joining us and look forward to catching up next week.
No, my pleasure, mate. I'll catch you soon. Good luck.
I will do. And to you, the listener, thank you for taking the time to join us as well. Whatever you decide to do, I wish you all the best with it. We are slowly closing in on 1,000 subs. We're up to 960 formats. So if you are listening, you did learn something from us. Please give us a like, give us a subscribe. It is free for you, and we'd love to hit 1,000. And yeah, it's just a nice thing to do. So please do that. But as I say, whatever you do, best of luck with it, with your game week 4, and we will catch you next week ahead of game week 5. Until then, all the best.